Tupac's father has been making the rounds, saying a lot about his late son. I don't know if anybody's been watching the Art of Dialogue great page if you want to just hear some old Pac stories, because he's so big in the culture, still so relevant. And Tupac's father has been trying to set the record straight for many years. A lot of us thought he was dead, from what we heard on records and things like that. Turns out he's alive. He said he was, fighting to be in his son's life for a number of years, where he was lied to. Could be some baby mama drama, but this one takes the case. This what really caught my attention. It was later yesterday, earlier this morning, one of the two, where the story came out that Tupac's father is saying that Tupac's murder was set up by the U.S. government. Have you ever heard this one before?
That sentiment has been going around before. It's actually a book that's out. It interests me. I want to give y'all the title, but I can't. It was actually somebody. It was a detective that was into the case. He made a book and was trying to say that it was. It's called The Government versus Tupac. The U.S. government versus Tupac. So it's been people writing books. It's been people talking about this. So I mean, it's not new to me. It's not new to me.
No. Is it something that you could maybe believe?
I mean, like, if I'm going to have to believe it, it's going to have to be evidence. It's going to have to be, but the government has done a lot of things. I can't put this on them, but we've known the government to be definitely with high figure black males. We know it, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We know that they had some kind of play.
You think this could be like some COINTEL type of COINTEL pro?
Yeah, I don't want to put it on them. I just know that in the past we've had things where the government is interested in our black, I guess the leaders in the black community, where they have, they'll tap in with them. So I don't know if this is the case, but I can believe, something's going on. He was a gangster, so he was about that. So I mean, not to say that they would get him set up, but they probably had his phones tapped. They probably had some things going on. You know how that go.
Okay, I could believe that they had his phone tapped, but just because they had his phone tapped, I don't know if that necessarily means that they set up his murder, like it was a hit by the government. That's a big leap, and that's what he's saying. Even though we have a confession from Keefe D. We watched the Vlad interviews. This is the guy that got the deal to, get out of jail for basically snitching. Telling what
Tupac
happened.
Killer. Yeah. On his nephew. Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like it just seems crazy. Just let Tupac be accountable for his actions. We gotta make up a conspiracy theory. Come on, we watched the video where Tupac knocked the guy out. There's some people out there who will say Tupac kind of had it coming. I mean, you stomped out Orlando Anderson. They said that you dislocated the man's shoulder. High-ranking Crip. You acted in violence against him. It's on video. You embarrassed the man. You a rapper. You running around screaming MOB. I love Pac too, but let's just be realistic. I don't need to go into conspiracy theories for that.
So, all right. Okay. No. That's a good point that you brought up. But now I'm going to bring up another point that's going to make everybody scratch their head. So when he was in New York in Quad Studios and got shot, do you feel like it was a conspiracy for him to get shot then? Or did people plot on him to do that? Or you feel like that was just...
Looks like I don't really know. There's conflicting reports, but he did get robbed. So you could say it's a botched robbery. I don't think they intended to kill him. I think that it looks like a robbery. And if you kind of get wrong, like Pac has been known to do, Pac ain't going. Everybody not going. Just because you pull out the blick and say, give me that, got you dead to rights, everybody not going. Pac ain't going, and they kind of had to adjust his attitude. That's just how it goes on the streets. So I don't think it was no.
But I'm
You
saying
think that was
just
a
for that
government
to happen.
conspiracy?
No, no, no. I'm saying
Okay.
just for that to happen, right? Just for that to happen. Do you feel like it was some foul play involved where somebody had to be it had to be some kind of conspiracy? I'm saying as far as people. I'm not saying government.
I mean, if you're talking about a crime, a plan to
Yeah,
commit a crime, conspiracy, of course it's a robbery. I don't think that was
yeah.
a spur of the moment type of thing. I think they
You don't think
caught
it was
Pac
a
slipping.
hit. You don't think somebody could have
No,
probably
because
said,
he was not murdered. He was shot. It was a robbery.
right.
I don't have any evidence of that. I like evidence. I don't like perceived motives. Anybody could look at a situation and be like, "Oh, I think this happened because of that," and go to connecting dots that are not
Right.
even there. Especially the more this guy talks, Billy Garland, I gotta admit, the more he sounds like he's just trying to clout up off of Tupac's death. It just
That's his
seems
son.
like
Don't
that to
worry
me.
about it. I mean, we all clout chasing though, dog. It's not,
Listen,
I
some of us are clout chasing to a higher degree. I
yeah,
don't know if this man really even, I can't really speak to what's in his heart, but it's not a whole
yeah.
lot of evidence that you was even really fucking with Pac like that. I ain't mean to use that for, but you wasn't really messing with Pac like that. The foundation don't mess with you. Keefe don't mess with you. The brother
Keefy,
don't
did
mess
he?
with you. The sister don't mess with you. Oh,
Oh,
I ain't mean Keefe. Afeni.
oh yeah,
Afeni.
okay.
Keefe Afeni. Excuse me.
Okay.
I don't think Keefe D is even aware who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? But Afeni don't mess with him. You know, Afeni has some things to say. In Afeni's book that was written by
That's
Jasmine
his
Guy.
baby mama. She's supposed to. That's how it goes. You get me? I mean, we know this play out, bro. Listen, we got to think about it.
Listen, listen,
You have a
listen.
father. Listen, that's a lot of us.
Okay,
That's a lot of kids that I know that father wasn't there. Okay,
okay.
whatever situation we have, we don't know, we don't understand it. But I can't fault the man for trying to, speak on something that his son, even when he don't wasn't there. I don't, I done seen plenty guys remake up with their father and they ain't seen him at all and they whole bringing up and they just try to rekindle that, that situation. So I don't know if Pac was alive, Pac would probably be like, yeah, man, let me kick it with my dad. So it's like,
So why didn't Pac do that when he was alive, though? Let me say this. At some point, your kids get old enough to realize which parent ain't shit. Just because Afeni is a baby mama don't mean that she lying. I understand that baby mamas have beef with baby daddies all the time, but that don't mean that she lying. Pac was old enough to
right,
say, my pops was all right. They ain't get along, but you know what I'm saying? He always was checking for me, or I could understand why he wasn't around. I'm not saying that Pac was the 100% rational and
right,
calm with everything that he did, but
right.
it's hard for me to believe that this guy just popped out of nowhere, and nobody's really on his side other than the art of dialogue. When they just had this Dear Mama stuff that came out, he was interviewed by the Hughes brothers, and they portrayed him like a deadbeat type of pops. And I really feel like if his story was true, a filmmaker is going to do good research. A lot of times, just to write one book, a man has to read 100 books. I mean, some books are not good, but I'm just saying. I respect them as filmmakers, as researchers. Nothing that he said was even compelling enough to them to portray him in a different light. When Jasmine Guy wrote the book about him, they portrayed him in the same type of light. So I'm supposed to believe what you're saying just because you talking slick on art of dialogue? He just don't seem like a credible guy to me. You ever heard of Feeney talk about this guy?
No, but I've seen situations like we've seen it with 50 Cent and his son. We've seen that sometimes when you're the mother, right? You have that because I remember when I had a boy who parents had broke up and he was, he had to stay with the mom. You get what I mean? So what I'm telling you is the how we living and how our culture is constructed. It seems like it's once you have that problems with that woman, it's already gonna be pressure. You already gonna get put into a category already. You get what I mean? Some women is not, but I'm saying for the most part, when you do have
Listen,
pressure with the
okay,
moms,
if what you're
it's gonna
saying is
become
true, right?
right.
We've always heard Afeni talk good about Batulu Shakur, the father
Of
of Tupac.
course.
Okay, wait, let me finish. So it's not like she just bashing everybody. This is a guy that stepped up as a stepfather and was referring to Pac as his son. You know, there was another guy that was in jail that they was talking about that used to call Pac his son and like wrote letters from jail to guide Pac in the right direction, things like that. Even a dude who was in jail was getting letters to Pac and helping raise this man.
Right.
And nobody got nothing good to say. Nobody around there is standing up for him.
Yeah, listen, man. I don't know, but I'm saying negative spread faster than positive. People are not just gonna
That
go
is
out
true.
positively and talk about somebody if it's not there. So I understand that. So I know that even if he was a great person, bro, you're gonna still get hate. Like you're not gonna I can't rely on people to talk good about somebody to make me feel like they're a good person. Cause I know people, they'll just throw people under the bus for when it works for them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And put people on the pedestal when it don't. But that's just my opinion.
That's
But
crazy. That's crazy. Like if Tupac and Afeni don't mess with you, I'm gonna
yeah,
believe them over you. I just can't believe. And then he was even bringing up. He was like, "I was there tonight where Biggie came to the hospital." I mean, he might have been there, but it stunk. It stunk to me, man. It just this whole guy, he just smells fishy to me. He don't seem like a bright guy to me either. With this whole Tupac was set up by the government thing, it's like you talking like somebody who didn't even know Pac. You talking like a nigga on the internet. You done fell for like a
damn.
conspiracy theory. Honestly, people who could be as gullible as to fall for something like this, those are not even the type of people that I would really want to talk to 9 times out of 10. You'll come across some people like this in the barbershop sometimes, and you kind of just got to let them, like, you got to let them have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Okay, it's a fact. All right. You know what I'm saying? You got that, OG. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, people are just too far gone for you to save them. Like if you could believe
Yeah.
something based off so little evidence, you're not even operating in the same world as me. You have fuzzy logic. You have low information and low media literacy, and you're not a critical thinker. And those are the big problems where you could get people to believe anything nowadays. You could get people to believe that DC Young Fly sacrificed his life partner, or you could get people to think that aliens was in somebody's backyard over the past week. You know what I'm saying? There's people who pick up these stories that are just seem ridiculous to me, but people are gullible enough to fall for him. So the fact that he rehatching a conspiracy theory, it just kind of reaffirmed my belief that, I mean, he's saying he Tupac father. I could go for that. They look a lot like each other, but he just seems like a dusty dude trying to clout up. I ain't gonna lie. That's my
Man.
assessment.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
my assessment.
I don't know too much to say if he dusty or not, but
That's how I
he
see. I
could
could be
be.
wrong, in my opinion. We
Yeah.
we here to be critical. He seems like a dusty dude on YouTube trying to clout up off a tragedy. You know,
Yeah.
in
uh
a way that's not honorable. Because if you wasn't messing with Pac, like being a father, don't try to come up on some father. Just keep it real. Let us know what you was going through. Like, yeah, man, I wasn't shit. Don't say I wasn't even really checking for Pac like that. I had other kids. I had a whole nother family. A Feeny whacking crazy. I wasn't even trying to deal. I said I'll catch up with him when I get up with him. Turns out he caught a bad one day. I wish I could have did more, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna share the experiences I had with him. But we had a storied relationship. I could have respected that more. But if you hear him talking the interview, y'all go check out the interview on Art of Dialogue. He trying to act like they had like some kind of like emotional bond, like they was cooler than what anybody knew. Like they had this secret relationship. I ain't going for it, man. I'm not buying it. So yeah, I mean, y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments. I've been following this whole discussion, and it seems like people are split. Some people are on the side of the fence that, yo, he's a father that got a bad rap. It's like that when you're going through with the baby mama. They can lie, keep you from the jit. They're glad that his story is finally getting out there. Other people maybe feel like I feel. Y'all let us know how you feel. You want
yeah.
to say something before we go, Bob?
No, but
What have
just
we
want to
learned? Let's
say
leave
though,
them with that. Let's leave with the final thought.
what I learned is it's never too late to be, showing your son or somebody love, even if you
Mm-hmm.
didn't. And it's always what I learned is you can
Mm-hmm.
always rekindle a father-son a situation. The greatest one I heard was from a guy, Jalen Rose, didn't meet his father at all till he was like 25, and he still respected his father and was like, I appreciate you. You is the reason why I'm here. And he still gave him that. And I feel like today's we look at it, it's like it's easy to bash a father for him not being there, and we don't look at the whole narrative of the story. So that's
Yeah,
just what
yeah,
I learned from
yeah.
it. You know,
What I learned from it, I want to just clarify. I don't know if you was talking about me, but I'm not
no,
bashing him for not being there. Maybe I should have, but I don't know what he was going through. I'm really bashing him up for like just trying to just looking disingenuous on YouTube and giving these corny interviews.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. That's something
what
you
what
can
I
learn
learned
from.
from this is appreciate your loved ones while you got them here. Give people their flowers
Yeah,
while they could smell them, because you might not get that opportunity like Jalen Rose, Daddy. You know,
yeah,
your son or loved one might be gone before you get a chance to try to make it right. And now you on YouTube trying to convince the world that you love them instead of us seeing you in the video, seeing you at the Walk of Flame, the Walk of Fame ceremony, seeing you, just with them. People
yeah.
talking to you, you wouldn't even have to go through this. So just appreciate people while you got them.
For
I'll say
real,
that and get up out of here.
for real, man. We're gonna catch y'all on the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.